Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like this very magical experience that you can go be a part of. But
yeah.
as fancy and as what do you say, magnanimous as that sounds, how much would it break the institution itself, right?
Why do you say it would break the institution?
I don't know. Again, this is all just thinking out loud, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
But what's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Average Humans. I'm Linoy.
And I'm Advaith, and there's no lag today.
Yeah, it's pretty much on thinking. Why? I wonder why. I wonder why there's no lag today.
Yeah, man. So, as you guys can see, it's just the two of us today. Mr. Wajid is actually preoccupied with something. He does not like prioritize the average humans. What can we do? But we move
Casual,
on.
casual, casual. Yeah, the show must go
Just
on, and so will we.
yeah, just kidding. He's just busy with some stuff, so he's got some things to take care of. Hopefully, you'll see him in the next episode. And yeah, so taking over his lines right now. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the average humans. I can't do it as
Ding
good as
ding.
him, and if in case I find an endorsement potential, I shall shout that out too. So
Absolutely. Why the fuck?
yeah. All right, man. Lenoy, what's going on, man? How's the week been?
It's been an interesting week, isn't it? Especially for us folks who are in the same city.
Mm,
I mean, I have thoughts, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep it to myself. And
mm,
whatever happened, unfortunate. I think the passing of that actor was quite unfortunate. He seemed
yep.
pretty young.
Yep.
I heard it happened when he was exercising, which is even more sad.
So,
Uh,
yeah, those who I'm sure everybody in Bangalore knows, but those outside of Bangalore who do not know, there's a very famous actor over here named Puneet Raj Kumar, and he sadly, unfortunately, had to, like, he passed away and due to cardiac arrest, and he was quite young, 46 years
yeah,
old. For yeah,
46, 46 to 49,
yeah, the
something, yeah,
40, yeah,
something,
45 to 50 bracket.
not
He was
50
definitely
yet,
under
yeah,
his 50s, and
yeah.
he's a great actor here. He's done a lot of work for Karnataka. Like he's done
Community,
like
I guess, a lot.
yep, he's opened up a lot of orphanages. Like he's helped out a lot of schools. He's helped out a lot of people. Like he's like yeah. I mean, if you have like a Rajnikant of India, you have a Puneet Rajkumar also in the mix too. Like not like in that like not like North India knows him, but South India definitely knows him. The Rajkumar
Yeah,
name is a
yeah.
big name here.
It's a big name.
So
His dad also was very famous, right?
yeah. So I mean,
So yeah,
the
we've been having some restrictions across the city to pay memorial and some thing and all.
yeah.
I heard there was his what do you say memorial was happening at Conviva.
At
Uh,
Kantiwa, yeah. So basically, all the like same thing. Like there's also this other actor who recently passed away. His name is Ambarish. He's also known as the Rebel of Karnataka, basically,
oh,
and he passed away recently. And also they had it over there, if I'm not wrong. And basically, it's where everybody, literally the whole city, all his fans, like not just city. I think people traveled from all over Karnataka to come and see him, and
damn.
yeah, to pay the to give their last
Hey, I
respect.
know it's pretty famous. I think. Yeah, I think it's a
Oh,
big
he's
loss for
famous, famous.
Bangalore.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and yeah,
anyway,
but
because of that, we've been having a restricted weekend, even though it's a long one. It's Halloween. Nonetheless, I think a lot of events got cancelled and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what's pretty much happening in the
yeah,
city. But we're not missing our recording, so that's a good thing. That's
yeah.
cool.
So anyway, so what's
I think
been
we have
happening?
something fun to talk about today, right? I think we
So
got the
yeah, I mean, I if anybody's been following our socials, we've been like staying active, and I've been liking our activity these days. And
yeah,
one of the things that we shared was about Mr. Zucky,
Mr.
Mr. Mark
Reptile
Zuckerberg's
Face.
announcement, man.
Okay, before we get into it, I just have to mention this.
Yeah,
As the years go by, he looks lesser and lesser like a human being. He has this expression,
yeah.
and it's hilarious.
Dude, I didn't realize that Zuckerberg had such an ostrich neck going on, dude. What the hell was that going?
It's just like
Where the hell was that going?
the reptilians are just like overpowering now.
Man, I mean, think about the like, how his neck would be when he's like leaning onto a screen, dude. Probably that's why he's creating this so that there doesn't need to be a screen anymore. He can give his neck a rest time, just
I
tripping.
mean, probably. But anyway, it's all about Facebook switching its name to Meta.
Yeah.
And the Metaverse, I suppose. I think that's the biggest announcement that has come by. Uh, what's interesting about this whole announcement was for me? I've come
Yeah.
to realize how many people haven't watched a Ready Player One.
Really? I don't think
Yeah.
people have been able to make that connect more than anything else.
I don't know
Yeah.
because a lot of people are like, hey, don't you know Ready Player One? They're like, what is Ready Player One? And I'm like, it's a
Oh,
movie, damn
really?
it.
Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Probably that movie, you know what it was? Like, that movie was all over the place because it was so action packed and they didn't really understand the realism of it that it could be our future one day down the line. So, probably it just slipped their
Maybe that's
minds
what,
and they
yeah, the
completely
people.
forgot. Yeah.
But that's the funny part, right? Because like whatever Zuckerberg had mentioned in that, what do you say, 8 minutes sort of
Yeah.
announcement video that they made, uh, I couldn't spot anything that's not that movie. Everything is word to word the same,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I distinctly remember when I was watching Ready Player One, I was like, this future may not be too far away, and
Yeah.
here we are.
So let's just go back to the basics. Like Linoy, why don't you break it down since you're the tech guy?
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So
So
this is
what is this meta? So I think people need to understand what the idea of metaverse is in the first place because metaverse is a concept that has been thrown around quite some time back actually. It's actually been thrown around in the 1900s if people don't really
Jesus.
know. In the war times people have thrown this and they predicted in the future there will be a whole different virtual universe that can be created like that has just been but yeah we're finally getting there today.
Widely heard, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
for
take
me,
it.
I even look at it from the perspective of Facebook, and it makes sense why they want to stop Facebook because what if Facebook is such a it's a brand that has become very synonymous with two-dimensional, what do you say, interfacing, right? Social networking interfacing, and definitely in that space, they have not earned the best name over the years, I suppose. And I think it's a great opportunity for Facebook to just step aside from the shadow of the brand Facebook, put that in the past, start off Meta, and focus on the virtual side of things. And
Yeah,
they bought Oculus Rift, I don't even know how long back. I think they
yeah,
bought Oculus East to 10 years ago.
yep,
And I think they've been working hard at this for a long, long period of time. And I think finally here, I think some of the, what do you say, proprietary headsets that they were showing
yep,
uh, looked very, very fancy.
yep,
And it really is what it kind of mentions, right? It's the alternate universe that humans can partake in. All you need to wear is like really fancy, what do you say, VR glasses, and you will be transported to another place. Not transported, you'll be there, but
yeah,
your, what do you say, visuals and all the peripherals of yours will be transported to another,
yep,
what do you say, reality where you will have a digital avatar for yourself. It's very much like Facebook,
yeah,
but an evolved version of it instead
yeah,
of approaching something through and so that largely comes down to design, right? They want to break away from that. Our current social media platform is basically everything is just a two-dimensional box, and we look at it and stuff happens inside these
yeah.
boxes and we communicate. But they want to move away from that flat design to a three-dimensional thing reality, and that's what meta is. And again, I really don't think anything better as a better explanation than the movie itself. You should probably
Yeah.
run like a clip of that movie right now and then just get everyone the impression that they need.
I don't know if I can run a clip, but I'll definitely put
A
a still
picture or
shot.
two, yeah.
Yeah. So I think like when I first saw it, right, I was thinking like, damn, our podcast is going to elevate now. Like we can,
Imagine the.
yeah.
We need
So
a meta for our podcast
we
someday.
can literally make a meta average humans. Like we can create our own design. Like we can create our own living room space and then virtually sit
Absolutely.
there. So I think what people need to understand is that this whole concept is a mixed reality concept where you have
Yeah.
augmented reality and virtual reality in your real time frame and it's your choice in how you want to integrate what layers of VR or AR. You have the choice to now basically
It's
be
like
a creator about
VR.
it.
It's like AR with no. It's like VR. Everything is VR,
Yeah.
and with AR, what do you say? Abilities like just weave throughout.
Yeah,
Because
so you have the same AR implementation that we have today, but now you can do it in a VR space that we
VR
can
space
create. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
and that's just so crazy because It has so many implications as well, and I think again the movie largely touches upon all these implications. How long will you be in a room? What
Yeah.
will be the like? There will be such a dissociation factor, right? Either you will be someone who is largely successful through this virtual enterprise, and but how will that convert to your physical reality? Will we
Yeah.
find people like just like stuck in this, like living their actual human lives through
Yeah.
this thing? And they might be like millionaires, billionaires inside the metaverse, but when they take that this thing off, uh, the movie again.
Yeah, true, right? I don't know. So I think what it's going to come down to is that, yeah, you're going to basically what you said, right? Like you can be a billionaire in a virtual space, but then you're like they can most likely be in a trailer park trashing kind of a scenario, right? But I think like more than anything else, yes, it is the next step for connectivity from,
Next
and
big
I
social media platform, I
yeah,
feel like
it's no more
people will be
just to
spending.
tweet at them, or it's no more
Yeah.
a DM, or it's no more commenting or liking a picture. It's now more, what do you say, immersive. I
Mm.
think that would be the right word with the whole metaverse. And yeah, I mean, it's great. I think so. When I was looking at it from a marketing point of view and how they were packaging this entire presentation, I noticed that they were really sticking to the topics that was very centric to a demographic for like the younger children who are all about the
Mm.
gaming culture and the gaming ecosystem, because they really highlighted the gaming aspect of it, and
Yeah, yeah, big
creating
time.
a environment that can be very game-esque. And then also at the same time, with today's cancel culture, they made sure that there's no like anybody not included. They made sure that the inclusiveness factors there in terms of race, in terms of like the what do you say, the way they
All
want
the
to
visuals,
express,
yeah.
yeah, all the visual expressions that they would like to
Every
show.
actually they have a lot of variations in the avatars of humans as well.
Yep.
Apparently, skin tone, skin type, hair tone, hair type, and
Yeah.
all these things can kind of. One thing I was really surprised by, I don't know if there was no real answer to this. You saw
Mhm.
when the what do you say, the introduction or the video started from Facebook with Zuckerberg himself,
Yeah.
and then they switched to like an avatar version of
Yeah.
Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to know how that is made. Do we customize a model to become to make it look like us, like we do for a lot of games nowadays, right?
Hmm.
Or does this VR scanner just kind of scan your face and create a version? Very much like the Apple, what do you say, emojis that are there these days. Apple has these animated emojis that scan your face and create a version for you without you interfering as such, right?
I
So
think
that
it's
would be
both
interesting.
of
I
them,
don't know.
right? I think it's both of them, right? Like you can get it scanned, and then you can make it exact, because they did highlight about how it could track your facial features, right? Your facial expression
Mm, yeah,
features,
yeah, yeah.
right?
So
So they did
yeah,
track that. At the same time, you can, if you want to look like a robot, you can. So
actually, there's this one person in that with that. So
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
he goes into a room full of people. And one guy's a big robot.
Yep,
That
yep.
robot, I think, was exactly the one that was there in the movie. Again, I'll keep reference to the movie. Can't
Ready
help
Player
it.
One.
So is the
Yeah.
time. So is the news.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's basically that. So you can pick your avatar whether you want to be yourself in that virtual reality, or you want to
Or someone
be
else.
some,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's your choice. And then I think the best part is like, I think one main thing that I like about it is that there are times where you can create your space and you can be alone, and you
Hmm.
can like be in
Like a
your own
private
thoughts.
space and
And
like a public
yeah,
space.
and I think like for me, like, see, particularly if I need my own space, right, I would like to be in an environment that is set and designed in my way. And I think I have that liberty and freedom with this virtual space,
This
right?
virtual space.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
can create whatever I want, or if I like this particular this creator's design for this particular room, I can buy it off him, and then I can layer that into my space, and then I can be in my thinking zone. So I can have a spot for my thinking zone, I can have my spot for my friend zone, I can have a spot for whatever it is, right? So I think that way there's a lot of potential in terms of like, how to like basically dive deep with your mind and expand your mind. I think like there is a whole potential, but at the same time, I also kind of see like people are gonna get lost. We're gonna get some
No, big time, big
Wally
time, big
moments here.
time. Yeah.
There's some
I,
potential
I,
Wally moments.
I genuinely think we are heading towards. Okay, so there's one thing. I'm not sure about the adoption rate for this.
Hmm.
So it is something that's sort of at a premium price, obviously.
Yep.
But obviously, as the technology becomes more available, it will reduce in pricing and all that stuff. But even then, it seems like quite a bit of a what do you say, investment from the consumer's part. You have to
Yeah,
physically kind of disappear from this reality and enter another reality, exist over there.
yeah,
And there's a conversion that I'm not really understanding. In gaming, it makes sense. And I think when it does, what do you say, open up to the public initially, there's going to be a lot of focus on just going there to start gaming and stuff like that. But the second layer of it would be like supporting this work from home situation that's currently going on.
yeah,
This seems like a great tool for that.
yeah,
So you mentioned, right, people might kind of join in from like random IDs, not reveal their identity and stuff like that. So that seems like more of a possibility for the gaming section, right? You can do
yeah,
whatever you want, or whatever your gaming name is, you can just go with it. But
yeah,
when you look at the possibilities for the more, what do you say, commercial space, which is like work from home and stuff, it definitely has its allures, right? Imagine a work from home format where all the employees are these avatars working with each other in a digital
yeah,
space. That seems really possible. I think that is
yeah.
more appealing to me in terms of functionality than
Correct. Yeah,
a personal creative space,
yeah,
because like we game a bit here and there, right?
yeah,
And we
yeah,
play games like No Man's Sky and stuff like that. And these
yeah,
are all like base building games. You create your own base, you make it your own thing, and all that stuff. But you
yeah,
can't live there. You can
yeah,
only
yeah,
live
yeah,
there in the scope of the game.
yeah.
So that is something I can't really understand. Why would someone want to live in a digital space? Again, we mentioned, right, there might be multi-millionaires or
Mm,
something like that,
mm-hmm.
meta millionaires, and these folks have these amazing palaces, but they in reality they might be not very fortunate enough.
Yeah,
But again, how does that convert to reality? Like on Instagram, when you become famous, you have conversion to reality, some and
yeah,
all
yeah.
will happen. So is that similar? Is that something that's similar is going to happen over here? Will people start marketing on Meta Universe and make money off of it into the real world? That will be interesting to see, because I don't mind becoming early content creator from Metaverse.
I mean, yeah, we should definitely like go deep into it once it's really accessible.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think one of the biggest issues that they are going to face right now is it's going to be very specific to the countries that have accessibility to like say 5G, right?
Networking,
So
yes.
yeah, so I think that is a main concern more than anything else. So the latency aspect is a big issue. It cannot go global as they claim it to be, although there is potential for
I
it.
think in time they will, but not immediately. That's why I'm worried about the
Yeah,
conversion factor. There's going to be a dependency on infrastructure like big time. And I'm definitely sure the Western countries that have 5G implementation of 5G already will definitely have more coverage with respect to the technology itself. But I think it's in the end of the day, or at the starting point of this technology, I think it will definitely mature to a point where the metaverse will always exist as a parallel reality to ours. And in that universe, you can go do whatever you want. You want to go game, you want to go work, you want to go do your business, whatever it is can exist. But at the start of it all, it'll just be a space for gaming. A tool like Microsoft Teams or Zoom, a tool that you can utilize at a corporate level to kind of
yeah,
work in a more natural way in digital space. I
yeah,
think this will be the initial starting points, and there, when it's gaming, people not require like that level of tech, possibly.
yeah.
Average consumer latencies and stuff like that. But when you go into the corporate space, I think that's where they'll start making real
That's right.
money and start actually
Yeah,
scaling this thing up in
yeah.
a reasonable way. And if that works out to them,
Yeah, I mean, think about the companies that are spread across the globe, right? Say, like, for an
hmm,
example, say, like an Infosys, right? They're all over the world.
yeah,
And you can literally be connected via virtual space, right? Via Meta right now.
you can have a virtual Infosys campus where all the Infosys
Exactly.
employees from around the world come to work,
Exactly. Yeah. And
and
then
that
if
is
you need
appealing.
like if you need a multi-board of directors meeting from one office board to another office board, you can actually jam them all in together because actually finding the time and coordination to get all these individuals under one roof physically is such a
It is
pain.
very difficult. It's almost
Yeah.
impossible.
Exactly, but this can really cut that down, like what is the word? Like the unprobability of it happening, like that raises the probability now. Like you can actually make it happen, right? So
Yeah,
so I
it does seem like a very appealing and a tool that will have a lot of possibilities in the future. Um, but again, it is a big far throw from reality. And I think the more early adopters will be future generations, generations that are just born into it. That will be the
yeah,
new social media format that they want to just get in on with.
yeah,
And it's kind of scary because for for those kids, I would say, who are born into a time where metaverse is a thing, and you just wake up and you're 4 years old, and the next thing you know, that everyone's running around with this thing on their face.
yeah,
Uh, how much of actual reality will they be spending time in or getting used to?
Hmm.
Imagine a generation of kids that just start off wearing these things, and they predominantly exist as people in this virtual space. And
Yeah.
I do wonder at scale, and I'm guessing this at scale thing will be 50 years down the line once the
Yeah.
technologies, once the technology hits the market 50 years later. I would say it's at scale enough where such a problem would come. But how would
Hmm.
that affect the physical relationship of humans? I think we've spoken about this at the average
Yeah.
human, some of our initial
So,
discussions.
so I had a thought about that, and you know what I've been thinking? Like, re- see how technology keeps saying that the world is getting smaller and smaller because we're so connected. Well, this can actually make the world much like larger than ever before because people are so tapped into their virtual space that they suddenly not realize, oh, there's a green field out there 20 kilometers down the road. I did not know that. Oh, okay, so you can actually go to a beach during this season? I don't have to just press a button and go to a beach. There's a whole
the,
travel journey to it. Like,
the whole
that's
aspect of physically going somewhere would be so alien to a lot of people.
exactly right. It's going to be it's just like it's crazy, no? It's like a cycle right now. Like we're just repeating in a very technological what do you say wireframe right now more than
Yeah.
anything else. So back then it was a Stone Age wireframe. Now it's a technological wireframe.
Here's a fun. I would really like to know how, because there's a factions, a particular type of faction in the world. Obviously, the religious people, right? And whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim
Yeah.
or a Christian, these are religions that have billions of people in numbers, and they
Yeah.
coordinate together to make sure that their faiths are uniform across the planet or something like that. It would be insane to see how these institutions take to such a technology, because
Oh, yeah. It can.
imagine like I come from a Christian background, right? My
Yeah.
family is like Christians and
You
stuff
want
like
to go to
that.
the Vatican City?
Vatican City. Imagine Sunday masses across the planet, and the Pope himself is giving the mass,
There you go.
and
Yeah.
it's a church that can fit all the Christians in the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like this very magical experience that you can go be a part of. But
Yeah.
as fancy and as what do you say, magnanimous as that sounds, how much would it break the institution itself, right?
Why do you say it would break the institution?
I don't know. Again, this is all just thinking out loud, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
But the level of technology is quite high over here.
Yeah.
Either they have to disguise the complexities of the technology in branding, and
Mm.
customers are just not aware of such things. And then
Mm.
the what do you say? The ideologies of religion can be more what do you say? Stable, I would say.
Mm.
But if a technologically geeky person looks at all the
Mm.
technology that's going into this to see how
Yeah.
the thing is being curated, would that offset from the focus that institutions, religious institutions, require their what do you say, compatriots to look at or to focus on? Would that
Mm.
focus shift? Would they be able to believe in the religious, what do you say, uh, I don't want to say theories, the religious opinions and religious beliefs, as
Yeah.
well as we can in the physical world. Similarly, in that digital space as well. That seems very. It seems like very tricky to me.
It
I don't
depends,
know.
dude. I mean, if you're going to create a space that is foundationally taken from their literatures, right? Its
Hmm.
own literatures, and then it's designed around that in a visual front, right? Then probably they will stay in that, not trying to sound
Yeah.
offensive, but that bubble, right? Because in the end of the day, meta is nothing but a bubble for your and a bubble that you create, not a bubble that you're trapped in.
Yeah. Exactly. You
Although
can
many
curate
people
your
will,
bubble.
although many people say that that bubble is still a trap, but nonetheless, like I'm just talking about,
No, it is a trap. I definitely agree over
yeah,
there. It would be unfortunate. It would be really, really unfortunate to a point where, it will be unfortunate if this technology becomes popular to a point where it almost starts nullifying our physical existence,
mm,
because it can never nullify our physical existence, right? The
yeah,
only point we can completely physically nullify ourselves is we can kind of migrate our consciousness to like digital systems and
yeah,
still retain our personality and individuality and all that stuff, which is far off. I think
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
all know that that's a far off reality. Can happen, not going to happen immediately.
I don't think in
But
our lifetime we are going to see that.
unlikely. But
Yeah.
I think we'll see progress in terms of simple creatures being like moved into digital systems where they can exist, and
Mm.
built on that over hundreds of years, maybe a human being can be downloaded into a framework, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but how this is because as long as this does not happen, it feels like a misfit. And a great analogy for this would be gaming, right?
Mm.
For gaming, we have keyboard and mouse, which is I wouldn't say is the best form. The
Mm.
more classical form of interacting with games are the joystick.
Yeah.
And if you look at the joystick, you're like, oh, that's so amazing! I can do everything with a joystick, which is great. But
Yeah.
a joystick itself is such a weird contraption,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
you look at it,
Yeah.
it's a very unnatural contraption that you have to get very familiarized with
Mm.
to interface with what you want to interface.
Yeah.
And this form issue manifest in this world, where until we can kind of digitally migrate our consciousness, will
Mm.
the existence of the metaverse or the applications, the hardware that you use, become this contrived contraction that we are forced to use to interact with
Yeah.
this world?
It's
It
like
might
an
seem natural.
entrapment, right? It's
Yeah,
like an
it might
entrapment.
seem very natural,
Mm.
but if you look at it, it's a very unnatural thing to be doing as
Yeah.
long as you exist physically. And imagine people getting married in the metaverse. And
Definitely.
this is not something that's like when you say, oh, Dota and all these games, people are finding couples and becoming like digital couples and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
gaming
Yeah.
couples.
Yeah.
And, and that's all fun and games. Exactly, it's all fun and games. But how does that become part of reality? Will these people be able to interact with these people? Answer is obviously no. The metaverse is not going to get you a fucking ticket to Germany to meet your
Yeah.
pen pal from abroad.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the
I don't
max they
know.
can do is give you some kind of gloves or some kind of shoes to make you feel, or some kind of suit to make you feel whatever. Like, yeah, okay, now
Their
we're getting
body suits
dirty
and
there.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
their
But
body suits are there with the
yeah,
pressure pads and stuff like that. You can
yeah,
feel
yeah,
a lot of sensations. But
yeah.
again, I don't
That
know.
that that
Uh,
I don't see how that'll be a lucrative thing for the general public. I think that's
yeah,
just that's who can afford it. They can, yeah, go crazy with it.
I
I
think.
think, yeah.
Yeah, please after you.
So I think more than anything else, I remember, like, I don't know if he said it, if I said it in the podcast, but I definitely remember saying this before, like, like how real estate took over the 1990s to today, right? Like real
Hmm.
estate, and now we are almost out of land,
Yeah.
basically. As far I mean, at least in South India goes, like, at least Bangalore goes, we are almost out of land. We have to
Oh
keep
yeah, yeah.
expanding. Like I
Cutting
think
up,
I think Bangalore is one of the biggest cities we have in India, dude, because how wide is
spread
the
out.
city, right? Right.
Exactly.
So I think we have the same concept going on right now with the metaverse right now, where it's all about
Hmm.
virtual real estate, and it's not about acquiring how much of data allocation of the space. It's more like how much of understanding and in depth of the technology you understand, that you can, what do you say, maximize the potential of that space, and then because of
Hmm.
that potential that you'll be able to unlock, you'll start monopolizing certain aspects of that space, and that is real estate in itself.
NFTs are going to be revolutionized by this world.
Exactly, right?
If metaverse comes into play, I think because the biggest problem with NFTs now is it's something that you buy digitally,
Yeah.
and you can only interact with it digitally.
Yeah.
But imagine you buy this NFT where anytime you're in trouble, Iron Man comes and kind of saves you.
Saves you, yeah.
And this becomes something that you can actually experience in metaverse.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there, I think the usage of NFTs is just gonna explode. It might be
Yeah.
the digital currency inside the metaverse. You never know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I I think as far as, like, see, from the corporate world, yes, there's a lot of adoption issues that I do see. Although if we go there in terms of connectivity, in terms of scaling up businesses, it has potential there. But then it depends from company to company how large the enterprises are, the funding, all that nonsense. So whatever. But I think in the entertainment space, right? I think,
yeah.
oh my God, the potential is unlimited, dude. It is unlimited. Like
I
movies are
think
going to
so.
change, and I think all these actors needed this because
Again, yeah, that was again an interesting question, right? Will we in the metaverse? Imagine the avatar Linoy will
yeah,
walk into a virtual movie
yeah.
theater, and when I'm watching a movie over there, will the movie be about avatar people doing things, or will it be like a real captured movie that we are watching on like a ridiculously large screen,
I think, no,
virtual
I don't think it'll
screen?
be a screen. I think we will just have a first person perspective of a movie now. And
I
I
would say that is more likely for gaming, because
gaming true, but then movie also, like you want to see as a surrounding in a particular thing, and then you can rewind. I mean, see the possibilities are limitless. It's based on how expansive your creativity can go with it,
I
right?
suppose I suppose so. Yeah, it's
Like
gonna be.
okay, let's make people understand this. I don't know if people like we are getting into
Yeah, we're
jargons right
going.
now, right?
Yeah, I swear.
So,
I think we both
so
are just imagining
yeah.
things and talking about it.
So I think like let's make people understand the multiverse particularly, right? Like say like
Mm.
there's a company called Roblox, okay, and Roblox what they do is they basically help artists create virtual concerts, right? Like Ariana Grande just did this recently. Okay, she performed a virtual concert where she had mad visuals and everything, and you could
Big
be an
one.
actual audience and you can witness all of this. And it's
Mm.
just not like it today it is just sitting here and you're seeing this all on a screen, and there are
Yeah.
interaction capabilities in that and options in that space. But with the meta infusion, you are really going to feel like you're in there with the headset that they're claiming that they can put it down to $1 down the line. It's a 5-year plan that they have, but they're saying
Down
$1
to a
for a
dollar.
headset. Yeah.
Damn, that's where scale comes into play. Really comes
Yeah,
into play.
yeah, we'll get into that. So we'll just make people, and then also like so Roblox is one of those companies who's doing that. Then I think Fortnite is also part of the metaverse too. Like
Mm.
they are creating these characters, your avatars, and you can create like they're mimicking the dance moves, the trending dance moves, or whatever is trending on Twitter or TikTok. They're basically copying those moves into Fortnite. You have Fortnite concerts also. You have T Pain doing Fortnite concerts.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Travis
you
Scott.
have
He did one, I suppose.
yeah. So you have these are all multiverse examples basically. This is what a
Mm.
multiverse can do. And right now what Mark Zuckerberg is basically saying that it's basically making it more immersive than just sitting and watching a laptop screen.
Yeah,
Literally, like
I agree.
you can create whatever you want, and you can balance it out. Like if I want my living room, I can have my living room, but if I want Spider-Man to sit at the chair next to my TV, yeah, he can sit there if he wants to. That's
Yeah.
augmented reality. But then if I want to turn my white curtains into a flaming kind of a drape, I can do that too. I can create whatever I want. So
You
that
can have
is
a
the
virtual
potential.
mansion easily, and
Exactly, yeah. So you can
it's
like, and then
amazing.
and then see, think about architects, dude. I think about education, bro. Education is going to
I
be a
was.
whole. Oh, just hit me right now. You and me are space geeks, right? Think about it. Remember the old show, The Magic School Bus?
I
You would
think I
get
remember bits and
yeah,
pieces of it. Yeah.
you would get into a school bus and they would fly
Fly into
into the
space.
solar system and check out all the planets. You can literally do that
You
now,
can
bro.
do
You
something
can.
very easily.
And
Yeah.
think about it. NASA now can actually have a tool to visually show the
The
normal
effects of
people.
like going into
Yeah,
space and that effect of
e-
being in outer space. I think
exactly.
definitely metaverse is a step up in the whole virtual reality game, right?
Yeah,
And up until now, we've always had issues with virtual reality not being as seamless from a experience perspective. You know, you have pixelations, all the problems, panning problems. But now I think it's going to finally reach a point of visual competency where it seems very, the entire experience, if you look at it, it looks very cartoony at the moment.
yeah,
And that is very important to retain a computational normalcy, right?
yeah,
Imagine if they're actually trying to emulate all the hair that you have, all the facial expressions that you have, all the detail,
yeah,
the computer will crash. So they
yeah, yeah.
have to keep it at this cartoonist sort of what do you say format for now. But down the line, even that will get upgraded, and
Yeah,
the
when we have
hardware
25G, we'll definitely be
easy we
there.
get to do this. And there, I think virtual reality will be so good that you can easily replace any simulation that you want to do or something like that, and mimic what do you say these extravagant realities that we can't necessarily perceive from our physical realm, right?
Yeah,
Uh, that way, yeah, education like advanced education. Even stuff like engineering. If you're an engineer
yeah.
and you're working on stuff, it's the
Architect.
whole exactly. I
Yeah.
think the way you interface as a person with technology would really change. But again, I strongly think this will be like Big Daddy rationing out this what you say type of tool to everyone. You know, oh, you want to go outside and play? Here, take this token. Go out, just play, nothing
Yeah.
else. Oh, you want
Yeah.
to be in a professional workspace and do all these things? Here, take this little cup of whatever technology limitations are there, and that'll help you do your thing. And
Yeah.
that's where they will make money, because if it's just
Yeah, yeah,
like, oh,
definitely.
plug it in and enter a world and just figure out what you want to do, I don't know how that will work out for Meta, because It's crazy that we're already referring to them as Meta. No, fuck, Facebook. Then
Yeah.
your brand doesn't work with me. We're gonna call you Facebook from now on.
So
But
yeah, I think like if you want, you just like PUBG, Fortnite, right? You want a skin, you pay for that skin. So
yeah,
basically, everything is a skin that you have to either pay for or have a subscription model with or whatever it is. Yeah, you have limitations, but then you pay for it and you can be
absolutely,
limitless, right?
absolutely.
So definitely they
Nonetheless,
have to
I think
monetize.
one thing that we should focus on, the average human should focus on, is definitely extending our presence into this world
Yeah,
and leveraging this world. Because I think we can do a lot with, because
definitely.
at the back end, we are talking about a lot of formats that we want to try, but the biggest
Yeah,
problem is connecting people to get this all recorded and put out there, right?
yeah,
And having a tool like this will almost immediately cancel that problem out.
definitely, definitely.
And
Yeah.
I can't wait to extend the average human's experience into this format. And side note to you, Wajid and me, average human NFTs, yo, we need to start making them right. I heard something crazy, Tory Lane, the rapper.
Yeah. Oh,
This
one
guy,
million.
he made a million NFTs for $1 each, and it's all gone. And all of them will increase in value. All of them are just going to
To
gain value for no
correct what you
reason.
just said, he sold a million copies of his NFTs of his NFT, and he
It's just
released
one
an NFT.
NFT.
Yeah, it's an NFT album. You purchase that, you
Oh,
get his album to listen to, and
wow.
then the people can sell that at a higher value because million people bought that.
Hmm.
So they make even more money. So Tory just didn't make money; he's
He
making
may
bread
making
for
other people, yeah.
his fans, which is an incredible concept.
It is actually quite. But one thing I didn't understand over there is what is the upper limit, right?
What is the
Of
upper limit? Like what?
pricing this. Like if
Oh,
a
okay.
Tory Lane's prices at $1 per NFT at the initial round of million NFT sale, and then those million NFTs are going to be resold, then who decides the price? Obviously, exclusivity, availability. Someone
No,
will just sit on the
it's same
NFT
like
for
crypto,
like.
right? It's a volume, right? The volume of cash raises the value,
I
right?
think that'd be there, but also supply and demand, right? Imagine, in the real world, oh, this Ferrari was owned by this famous person, and you will be the next person who owns this thing after that person. So right now, the NFT was sold from Tory Lane to a person, right? And
Yeah,
I think the number of people in this chain might
yeah.
actually have a lesser, like a negative effect on it because you want the token that is the closest to Tory Lane, right?
True. I think like that's why it makes it a competition, right? People need to grab
Hmm.
it in the beginning stage itself
Beginning station.
and then capitalize, right? And then
Yeah.
if they miss out on the first wave, then they're going to wait for the second NFT album and that's going to be a bigger volume. So Tory Lanez wins overall, right? He wins
No,
overall,
straight
but
up
he
winning.
is giving a chance for his fans to make bread. That is
Off
there,
of it, yeah, that's
right?
there. True, very
And
true.
yeah, so and those who pick it up early don't really face any loss because it was like a $1, and he's smart. He priced it at $1 because he knew he'll get the people, he'll get a million people to
Exactly,
buy it, right? And
absolutely.
what more does an artist need to tell his investors or tell his record people like I have 1 million people ready to buy
Ready
me?
to buy it right now. Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
a billion. That immediately puts his album at a platinum level.
exactly.
Platinum, immediate platinum.
That's just
That is just genius.
yeah, and I don't think people when NFT started being like talked about in the beginning, I bet people didn't even realize that this was one of the potentials, right, of an NFT, right? It's
Yeah.
just not people thought it's only for artists and creators. I'm like, dude, creators are of all platforms. Like they're in all platforms. You just need to identify how to implement it into this whole virtual stuff. It sounds silly. It sounds like yes, a pixelated picture has so it can be $250,000. Yeah, it can be in today's world. Money is
I
there's no
think that's what
yeah,
Meta World will actually kind of make these NFTs more. What do you say? Viable to a great extent because like you said right now the NFT is a digital thing. You should probably be able to claim it on your music player and experience it, but imagine you enter the metaverse, you activate the NFT, and boom, the entire like a Tory Lane, what do you say, console is just unraveling in front of you. That will
yep,
make it so much more worth having the NFT.
yep, 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 yep,
That is what's going to like drive it. I think that's why this whole metaverse seems like a great platform for a
yeah,
lot of virtual technologies that we have built, right?
yeah,
And the
yeah,
biggest limitations of all the technologies is the fact that they're all virtual.
yeah,
And Meta will service as like a platform to uh, bring these virtual experience to some baseline of realism.
Yep, yep, yep.
So
True.
they'll define the whole meta baseline of realism. And
Yep.
in this realism format, may all these virtual technologies will be able to kind of come to fruition for their customers.
Mm.
And there they might make a ton of money. A ton of money.
Oh, dude, like honestly, this is going to be a $1 trillion entity, dude.
Easy, easy,
Yeah,
easy. Yeah, this is. It has just way too much potential,
yeah.
and it has limitations also, right? I really don't understand how humans are gonna, until we kind of bionically kind of make it a part of us. The whole concept of wearing a helmet on for a long period of time is a little far-fetched for me. I
Yeah.
don't know how it will work. I think it's definitely something that younger generations or newer generations will easily adapt into. But I think that will come at a major physical cost, physical life cost, I
Oh,
would say.
yeah. I mean, I remember what
Life
Zuckerberg
experience.
said. Yeah, what Zuckerberg said in his presentation, right? That they are trying to put all these potentials into one glass piece that is just 5 millimeters. Right. And then he continued, he followed up with saying, we're making great progress in that aspect. He couldn't really say what the progress is. So that's why they said in the upcoming 5 years. So let's see what this 5 years hold. But definitely, to get the crowd interested, I think the right angle was to tackle the whole
Gaming is,
the
yeah,
gaming world,
absolutely.
and then also tackle the whole people with the the culture appropriation. No,
Mhm.
that's not the right word. The what is the word, bro, for
What
these?
work life
Not just work
implementation.
life. They really looked at like the equality aspect of people, the
Hmm.
diversity aspect of people, right?
It'll make the world seem more real to us. Imagine,
Yeah.
because we don't want to go into a world where everyone looks similar or there aren't distinctive features to each other. We humans are crazy for identification. We want to
Mm.
identify ourselves as individual and stuff like that. So they're very mindful of this, and this will definitely make the adoption of this technology a lot better, because
Yeah.
people will feel like they're not losing their individuality when they step into this world.
Yep. Yeah.
And they have actually taken a lot of conscious moves in that direction, which is
Yeah.
good. I think it's not bad. If they play it right, it can be the possible elimination of a lot of historic evils that we've had, right? That kind of is non, what do you say, segregatable from the physical realm that we
Yeah.
live in. This stuff may finally kind of end up in a very mundane space in a virtual
Yeah.
world. People won't be able to realize all these
Yeah.
things. But
My yeah.
no, no, you go. Sorry.
So my issue only that I'm not issue, my concern on a large basis with this whole idea, not idea, I mean this whole potential that's going to be released to us, I think is the data security and the data privacy issues. Like I think, like, see, they package it saying like it's on you to decide how much you want of your
Uh,
data or your security like out there, right? But at the
mm.
same time, you give so much to us that like a person is going to loosely give data without realizing the implications of giving data. And that I really feel like is going to be a big thing.
You'll be definitely giving like a lot of data away, like a scary amount of
Exactly, right.
data.
And the thing is that God knows, like Meta, they're going to have a lot of partnerships with a lot of companies that they need money or they need their technology, and there's a lot of conditional aspects that come with it. And
Mm.
I hope those conditions are not evil-esque, where they
I mean, if we talk about data. First thing, before we go into the whole what do you say, data mining thing of
yeah,
the big data mining potentials of Meta, right?
yeah.
I do want to talk just quickly about the gaming thing. I
Mm,
think the first game they're completely realizing is that you can go into Meta and play a first-person version of
mm.
GTA San Andreas.
Oh,
The
okay.
entire game, they're actually working with Rockstar on this. This is the first official major game to be put out there. It makes sense. It's a very
Yeah.
good game to play. There's a lot of things to explore and do, and the art style of the game is conducive to the meta art style as well. So
Mm-hmm.
they can, with GTA 5 they can't bring it into meta right now. It's
Yeah.
just too much graphic heavy.
Yeah.
So GTA San Andreas looks like a really smart move,
Move.
and
Yeah.
people have such a, what do you say, like a what is it that shit? I'm losing out the word. People are so close to a San Andreas. It's such a
Yeah. Yeah.
critical game
It's an
that people have
attachment,
had, right?
right?
Yeah, and they'll just immensely get people to come and check out the platform just to see how the game exists over there,
Yeah.
and that will help them kind of explore, start
Yeah,
taking
it's
their first steps
nostalgic.
in the. Nostalgic, exactly. Yeah, nostalgic. Sorry, and not just nostalgic. I think it's a great segue to help people explore a 3D world because this is a world that they're very familiar with, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Familiarity
yeah,
is king. In this case,
yeah,
familiarity is king, and getting them to use this physical hardware to interact with this world will be a great step. It's like a great tutorial package for someone who's going to step into the metaverse,
yeah.
and that is very interesting. Even I'm kind of excited to kind of try it out. Go to
Oh,
Grove
I just
Street.
had a, I just had a, oh no, if they start integrating sports, okay,
Uh,
and they take away my love for combat sports away and saying no more physical contact with combat sports, you can do it in meta. I will meta slap them back to a physical form, dude.
I think it's a possibility, right? I think a lot of games like esports, like racing and stuff, they can be very easily offset to the space.
Yeah.
But I don't think physical fighting will ever stop. It's very
Mm,
innate to us human beings. So I think this continue to exist mostly in the physical space because that requires a level of computation that this technology does not have right now. It might be
yeah.
possible. It might be possible for two fighters to sit in two different places and to fight each other. But for that to have the same appeal as MMA and something would
Yeah.
have, a long, long time away.
So you mentioned the word appeal, right? So when I was watching that video of his, right, I was looking at all the animation. I'm just like, so appealing to look at, but in reality, it's just like you've got so much of hardware on you, and you will have to like go through probably loading issues, and then you'll find lag issues. It's like Cyberpunk, right? Everybody was expecting, and then, and then reality hit once the game came out, right?
I think the first iterations of the first what do you say,
Yeah,
people who try to start testing this out after spending that enormous amount of money will have a really bad experience. It
yeah,
is just going to be a bad
exactly.
experience for sure. It's the first generation of something that's never existed before, and
Hmm.
that's just not
Yeah,
going to be a great experience. But they'll build it and they'll optimize it. They'll get it to the point. We're talking about data mining, right?
yeah.
So when we
Yeah.
use our classical phones and stuff, we know that a lot of data about us getting leaked. But imagine now you're wearing this contraption that can possibly read your brain signals, see what your real-time expressions are, has like access to your what do you say biometrics, your
Mm,
heartbeat, your
mm,
pupil dilation and stuff like that. This is unprecedented amounts of data.
yeah.
Okay, this is the stuff that like China uses with their surveillance to kind of find information about people, right? But now
Mm,
you'll readily just give it off from this hardware, and the hardware definitely needs all of this to keep you safe in this world as well,
yep.
right? So they have right to claim this knowledge, but imagine selling this knowledge.
Exactly, right?
Oh, like people can start being committed for thought crimes because when you're thinking about a crime,
Exactly, yeah.
and you're having your pupil dilation, you're sweating, your palpitation, boom, this guy thinking about something really horrible,
Yeah.
catch him now.
Yeah, but that's like that movie, right? Which movie was that?
The Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I was thinking
yeah.
about that because it becomes such an iffy world, right? Because
Yeah.
this is new thing that Apple is doing. I don't know if you know about this. Apple, in its latest update, have told its users that Apple has a right, and they're going to be scrumming through people's photos in their photo
Mm,
libraries to
mm.
see if they can find images for that allude towards child abuse,
Oh, okay.
okay, pedophilia,
Mm.
child abuse and stuff like that, and they can actually scrum through your digital libraries and see there are any images. If there are images, they won't just like come be like, hey, what is you doing, and try to resolve that issue. They'll actually like let the authorities know. So this is
That's
their
just
initiative.
crazy.
I mean, from a solution for a problem perspective, it is a solution, but the implementation is
That
absolutely dangerous.
exactly because the
Yeah,
manipulations are
not
like
just
it's
manipulations, because if the whole thing of privacy is that people won't mess with your data, right?
mm,
Only you have your data, and it's kind of safe like that. But if Apple starts coming to all this technology, yes, they will only let the authorities know when they find like stuff like this. But to
mm.
find stuff like this, their AI should be able to bucket anything and everything that they come across
Exactly. Yeah,
into
yeah.
things, and that is scary. That
Yeah,
is
I don't know
very,
what
very
kind of
scary.
firewalls they can create to not like
And
to let AI not give you that.
me and my what do you say, loving relationship for Apple, right? So the question that I'm asking now is Apple doing this to help child abuse, or to limit child abuse, and limit the all the social implications that kind of come along with it, or are they using this excuse to do this data scrumming? What other reason can they have to scrum through everyone's personal information? Oh, we're looking for this greater cause. But what they're actually getting is what the information Google is kind of getting from people all along, right? But they're
Hmm.
actively kind of scrumming through everyone's personal data logs.
Yeah.
And now that is again like localized companies. When all these companies channel into Meta,
Yeah.
and Meta starts aggregating all the information coming into this technology platform because it's insane. The amount of information that's constantly going to come into Meta processing centers and then getting processed and sending out to all the users who are using it. It's going to be like, I don't know. I don't want to say it'll beat Google,
Mm.
but damn, potential is there in terms of
Yeah.
processing and
No, I mean,
information.
like I remember like reading up on Snowden, right? Edward Snowden. So if those who don't know, Edward Snowden is a whistleblower. He used to work in the CIA, and then he basically told that CIA spies on everybody.
Everything and everyone.
Everybody. And yeah, so and right now he lives in asylum in Russia because if he goes back to US they will put
Mm.
him under, he'd basically go to jail under something called the Patriot Act,
Mm.
and he basically he won't be given a fair trial with a jury, and that's all
Yeah,
he's asking, that I want to be given a fair trial with a jury.
very
And
unlikely.
yeah, he won't get it because of the Patriot Act. Because if you commit a
Yeah,
whistleblowing act in a government agency like CIA, then you are under
you're
the Patriot Act, where you do not get that liberty to.
exactly you're a
Yeah,
terrorist.
yeah, exactly, right. But he basically saved the world by exposing America for spying. But so he explained in his book. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you've read the book, but damn, you should read
No,
that
I
book.
haven't.
Okay,
I haven't. Yeah.
so he explained where, like, the people who had access to all this information, all the recording, like reading the conversation, phone conversations, videos, whatever. It's just like people do not have that innate morality of the crime that they're committing by
Doing it, yeah.
yeah, by doing this
By
criminal level of
partaking in it,
surveillance,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This criminal level of surveillance, right? And they just didn't have that morality logic in their mind,
Mm.
because I think once you reach that scale of power, right, that scale of access to power where you can literally destroy a person's life with a button, basically, right?
Yeah. Oh, this
It's
guy's wrong. Click.
yeah, exactly, right. And I think like power, like I mean, the way your mind starts thinking and assimilating and then starts prioritizing what is important for the world and what is not, is on a
Mm.
scale that probably normal average humans like us probably will not get,
We
right?
won't understand it. We won't really understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is an issue when it comes to, like, say, the
Mm.
meta. We don't know what levels of thinking people are going to be once they start getting the data, once they start
Yeah.
accumulating that data, and they'll be like, oh my god, we could do this, oh my god, we could do that. you
It's the
know
same issue we face in Clubhouse as well, right? Everyone
yeah,
jumped into Clubhouse really fast. Then everyone realized that Clubhouse is recording literally everything and getting it
exactly.
sent to like third party companies to process and stuff like that. So that is just like people talking. It's just one component of what you said, data that you can collect, right? And again, told you everything: your heartbeat, your mental brains, your brain waves, your eye movements, your dilations, your sweating, your all this will just become such a strong case against someone who commits something that is half of what is considered as a crime in the real world.
Yeah,
Right? Maybe it's like building up to a point of very much
yeah.
like the Minority Report.
I just hope that we will have like that debacle with Congress questioning Sundar Pichai and Mark Zuckerberg. I hope there will be
Oh,
a better Congress
I think
asking
that's gonna be like
questions.
inevitable. If they couldn't understand Facebook and Google, they have no understanding of what Meta is gonna be like.
The ironic part about
Oh
that
gosh.
hearing with Zuckerberg, right, was literally the guys berating him for his access to privacy, and like there's no privacy at all. And then he's literally asking, can you tell me which hotel you're staying at?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like you haven't understood anything, bro.
No, and there's a scary component to that, right? These congressional hearings for these technologies happened after a long time for establishment of these technologies. They didn't like call Google in when Google just started off for something. It's been like 30, 40 years. Google is like the kingpin of the
Yeah.
industry. They bring in Google and asking the questions. Similarly, even Facebook. Facebook started doing Facebook stuff for a very long time ago, 2009, 2008, and now they're bringing in coming these asking these questions after 10 years of being in the what do you say market.
Yep.
So I don't know if they will immediately call Meta for anything because again, Meta will have a very good argument, right? We're just starting off. What possibly can we have done by now? So this thing will happen. It will happen at the point once the technology is prevalent enough in the market for it to become a threat, if not used, what do you say, sensibly at scale. And that again is scary because if Facebook is given time with this technology, they will. I honestly believe they're kind of putting all their eggs in a basket, sort of a move over here. It's kind of scary for the company because if this tanks, they will never be like a successful company in the future. But again, it's Facebook. They're very smart. I don't think they will tank. But for Congress to come kind of step in and vet the whole technology, by then it might be too far gone. Like
Yeah.
it'll be so far gone ahead in so many different. Like you said, right? Once they figure out what all they can do with this data, scary
Exactly, man.
times, scary times.
Scary times. Yeah. All right, let's check. Oh, wait, the light just went out. Let me turn the light on.
Yeah,
So,
and for those of
but yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, if you like what we're saying about Metaverse over here, obviously we haven't said anything bad. Why don't you sponsor us? We'll put up
Mm,
better studios, lights, mics, all that, all 9 yards, right? So yeah,
yeah.
hit us up. The average humans always up for sponsorship. Let's go.
So, what did I want to say? Yeah, so let's just move on from the scary aspect of the
Yeah,
of the potential
the
dark meta web,
metaverse.
the dark meta. So, I think like right now in the stock market, man, there are some meta coins. There are the metaverse related coins out there
Hmm.
that are picking up.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah. The stock market's changing right now. All the money is going into anything that's related to Meta right now.
Meta, really?
Yeah, dude. Anything related to
Damn.
Meta, sorry, anything related to the Metaverse right now. So Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these companies, Roblox, Fortnite, all their stock value's gone up right now. Exactly. Right now, I'm seeing videos, 3 coins to invest in post the Meta announcement.
A lot of them are popping up nowadays. And,
So,
and there will be like if Bitcoin is the one in our physical realm, will it be the same one in that realm? Possibly not. I think Meta will have another candidate in place for
yeah.
that realm as well. It would be nice to kind of realize who that candidate is and do what I should have done with Bitcoin long time ago.
Yeah, man. Man, money is a whole different ball game today,
It's
right?
changed. Money has changed so much.
Yeah.
Like the
People
concept of
don't
money.
realize when we talk money, that's you can't have that physically. It's all digital now. Like
Yeah.
it's incapable to have that physical cash. Whatever we say, we are what America's $7 trillion in debt. Yeah, you can't make that cash.
Or the infamous Elon Musk latest what do you say fortune update. It is
Ah,
ridiculous. It is
yeah, dude.
ridiculous. He has hit $300 billion. Uh, he
Oh,
made
yeah.
as much money as what do you say Warren Buffett in one day.
One day,
He
yeah,
made what
yeah, exactly.
Warren Buffett spent 100 years doing. Bill Gates spent like 50 years doing this.
I know, right?
This dude is doing it in one day.
Now think about like we have Jeff Bezos and we have Elon
I think
Musk.
Jeff Bezos is kind of either he has to start a new venture or resign to third or fourth place soon because
But they're like the ones going into the trillionaire space, right? But now we have Mark Zuckerberg joining the bloody club too, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. Zuckerberg has a long way to go for Meta to be kind of if Meta becomes realized, right?
If these three
People,
have a long way to go to become
yeah.
trillionaires, then everybody else has a way longer time to hit that status too.
No, I
But
don't.
looks
I
like,
think Musk is the only human who's on the express highway for this.
yeah, true. He
He
is
is it's
just not
ridiculous.
human.
At this point,
Elon
I
Martian,
don't
bro.
know. At this point, I genuinely don't know what's going to be the cap of Musk's wealth. Uh, 100 billion, 700 billion. That might be where he kind of ends up. Wow,
Man, if
wow.
he can create a meta space of his mind, visually, if he can visually represent his mind to us,
Metaverse, the Elon Musk.
dive deep, Elon Musk edition.
That's gonna be hilarious, yo. But no, man, it really
You'll
is
find a lot of Doge coins over
fascinating.
there, bro.
One interesting what is statistics I came across is Elon Musk as a single person is worth more than all the American sports put together, major sports leagues, NFL, NBA,
Seriously?
and NHL. Yeah, all of them put together. I mean, all sports, all the teams, all sports,
Yeah, yeah,
all the income
correct.
put
Yeah.
together is 270 billion, and this dude is 300 billion. And it
What
gives
the
you an
hell?
idea. It gives you an idea of scale. He has more money than all of NBA
Yeah,
and
man.
all of NBA.
That's
It
mad.
is ridiculous, bro. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, it's one thing to own a club, own a sport. Then is to own every sport, every
Man.
club that comes in every sport. It is
I don't
baffling. It's
think
baffling.
people truly understand his level
No,
of
no.
wealth, bro.
People don't understand the difference between million and billion. Let's be very honest.
Yeah, that is true.
We all think that we know what the difference between a million and a billion is, and the difference that we think we know is just that there are more zeros and a M and a B. But the difference between the numerical value of a million and a billion is incomprehensible for the human mind, and that is where people really kind of are not realizing where Musk is as
I
an
know, right?
individual.
I mean, you go to Musk and you can ask him to give you $1 million because I just asked you. What does it do for you?
I mean, it's nothing. It's
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely. It really doesn't make any sense for a human being to have such amount of money. It will be very interesting for to see what happens at the end of his time. Where does his money go? Will he be able to kind of control this money as inheritance and spread across with his family? Will there new rules? Because by the time he dies, there'll be so much wealth in his name that will the governments kind of take a step in like, hey, billionaires, please, we need something to go back into the banks. You are more money than our banks put together now.
They'll say,
I don't
screw
know.
you, we'll make a bank. They'll be the Rothschild 2.0, dude.
The billionaire banks.
The Musk childs.
Yeah, it is interesting days coming ahead, right? And
Yeah,
that's why I like being a part of the generation that we are. We started off from dial-up modems to I don't know where we are heading now.
man, this
And in
transitional
our
era that we are part of,
hell of a
my God,
transition, eh?
right,
Hell of
man?
a transition. Like, I'm pretty sure I'll be cremated in a virtual crematorium after a
Yeah,
funeral.
I would I would genuinely advise the younger kids to not try to explain these things to their senior, like elder
Yeah,
grandparents.
let them. Yeah, let them. It's a
Don't,
game. Just have
yeah,
fun.
just like, yeah, you want to see Paris sitting in your living room? Let's go. We can see it through a metaverse. Like probably that you can make them and you can entertain them in that aspect. But in terms of like understanding the potentials and the scales and all that, yeah, don't. It's gonna go way over their head, and I'll feel sorry for them if they
Absolutely.
try to actually grip that. I was just thinking, if I had to explain this to my grandmother
Oh, I'm not. Even,
or
I'm not even going to try
anybody,
with my parents. Forget about grandma. I'm not even going to try with
exactly,
my
our
parents.
parents, right? Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too
I'm.
complex.
It's going to be quite a drastic transition. Also, I would say it's unlike any other technology that we've had to get kind of used to. Right? No other technology has kind of come into our life substituting it. Like a lot of things kind of come and replace it, take its position, let's just expose over previous iterations of that technology. This seems like a substitution of real life. And I think that's the most scariest factor about the meta universe.
Yeah,
How
right.
much of our life that we know that exists classically in our human physical realm
Yeah.
can be substituted by this technology. And the answer, and the higher that answer to that question, the scarier metaverse is going to be for me.
Metaverse is basically connectivity of people, but disconnectivity with yourself.
Individuals, yeah,
Yeah.
I hope that's a like an age limit. Just like how we have what do you say, age limits to start drinking, start driving. People's introduction to such a technology should be after a certain amount of years of knowing what their physical reality is.
Or like
I
do or have a layered structure, like at this age bracket only this much of accessibility to the metaverse in terms of education, in terms
Yeah,
of something like that, and then as you
yeah,
get into your teens a little bit more, and
more.
then
Yeah, you can do more and
post
more in the world.
21 then you get, then you're in the
You can
world.
become a free individual in the
Yeah,
world. You can do
yeah.
whatever you want.
But
Absolutely,
I would
absolutely.
also suggest like put slabs even post 21, like 21 or 25, because there's some maturity also that requires, that I think it innately needs to be there to get there. Probably they should have some kind of an aptitude, kind of a testing going on to like have, yeah, it's too much thinking also.
That's bad for the company. That's bad for Metaverse.
Exactly.
They
Yeah,
want
yeah,
as
yeah.
many people mindlessly joining this universe as possible, right?
Yeah.
They need in their heads. Okay, there are 7 billion humans on the planet. How do we get all of them on here?
Yeah.
So let's find a solution in that direction.
Yeah, but I think like it's a good time for all the techies, because in terms of like trying to
Oh,
pursue a career in tech
oh
right
my
now,
God, yeah, it's gonna
these
be
are
massive,
brilliant, these are brilliant times
massive.
for you all right now.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
and hopefully morally you can compass this correctly.
I mean, no, it's been age-old saying the next major set of skills that you can, life skills that you can have and kind of grow into are in the digital space, particularly coding and all that stuff. So, moving into a world that is literally existing in the digital realm, the requirements of such people would be higher than ever before, I suppose.
Dude,
So it
I'm
will be
I'm
definitely job opportunities, Tracy.
yeah, dude, I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing posters saying learn Python for second standard. I'm like, wow, this is the level now we are at, dude. Second standard kids are going to understand Python, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's inevitable, but yeah. Like, I remember, like, one person came and told me, like, I'm doing a Python course. Yeah, fourth standard kid is doing it too. It's basically that right now. But crazy. It's a crazy time, crazy world. Let's see
It is.
what it
It is.
unlocks. Let's see the potentials. There's going to be drawbacks. There's going to be
I think it's going to be a very interesting future to kind of look at, right? Because there never has been a precedence like this before where our reality can be substituted with something else and we
mm,
can kind of look forward to that augmentation of, or I would honestly consider this as an extension of our realities. Humans have existed in the physical reality so long, and now this is another format in which we will exist. So
yeah,
it's good in that sense. At least it'll add to the realms in which the human form exists, and that's nice. So
yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm confused, but I am excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's see if this monumental evolutionary potential is going to turn revolutionary. Let's see how, let's see where it goes. Yeah.
Hey, I think we have to address the elephant in the room, and that's what it not being here. I
Yeah.
would say this is such a peaceful, what do you say, session, right? We had a great conversation, no breaks, no interrupts.
He's gonna get you. Oh, this is good.
Gotta take
I'm
a shot
gonna
when it's available, right?
I have to record this and then we release it as BTS later.
Yeah, absolutely,
Want to know
absolutely.
what happened after Linoy threw shit? Speaking about shit, remember, like, I don't know if people are following us on our social. We uploaded that story, right, of one company. Let me bring it up. Oh my god, it's too funny. So, if you guys haven't followed us, like we also have an Instagram. It's called The Average Humans. It'll all be down in the description, and it's the AVG Humans. And follow us, and then you can like keep in. What do you say? You can stay involved. No, I'm getting
Stay
my
updated with
turn.
us.
Stay updated with us. Thank you.
The lingo, yep.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
be
You can.
bussing, I heard that this is a new lingo. We be bussing all day, all night.
So there is this company, okay, it's called M-Sense, okay,
Mm.
and I'll put it up there. So basically it's a company that it's something M-Sense migraine. I think it's something related to like
Yeah, it's a health application,
yeah,
something
it's a
like that.
health app, right? And their logo is pretty much the same. It's basically if so, it literally looks like a twisted rubber band, right? The Meta logo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I think when you press it even more, it becomes sharper. So
yeah,
that's that M-Sense logo basically.
yeah.
Okay, it's their logo, and so they put out a tweet. Okay, at throwing shade at Meta, basically saying we are very honored that Facebook felt inspired by the logo of our migraine app, the Audacity.
See, the second part is where they go gangster. Put like a Tanana Takla thing on it.
Maybe they'll get inspired by our data privacy procedures as well. Hashtag data privacy, hashtag Meta, hashtag
Oh
Facebook.
gosh. Oh man, I think one thing that we can kind of end the whole podcast this time is let's not stop calling Facebook Facebook because that's what will piss them off so much, right? They're working so hard to kind of completely erase our minds and just kind of adapt this whole meta thing. And I will give it to them. Good effort, good name, all that stuff. But I hope we strongly stay by Facebook and we can't keep calling them Facebook. They're like, why won't they stop forgetting the term Facebook? That'll
Yeah,
be fucking
man.
hilarious.
If I ever say Meta, it's only for Metaverse relation, nothing else. Like you don't own the Metaverse, okay? You're just one among the many who is trying to encapsulate that space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
No, I think that is it
Yeah.
for this one.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right now.
I think it's about time that we wind it up.
Yeah.
This actually was a great session. I think this is something that we definitely wanted the moment heard about the meta updates, right? I was definitely looking forward to have this conversation. It'll be fun to kind of see what Wajid is up to, well, what Wajid's take on all this would be. So
Yeah.
what we can
So
do is
Rajat, watch the
probably,
episode, man. I'm not showing it to
yeah,
you until it's out.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, watch it and we'll discuss it in the next episode, I
Episode. Yeah.
think, with him.
Yeah. And then
Absolutely.
I think so. Buzz Lightyear's coming out, right? Let's talk about it with him in the next one.
Oh yeah, I think we keep that for the next one. We
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
have a
yeah.
lot of time before
I
that kind
gotta
of
talk
happens.
about that dimple, bruh. I gotta talk about that, but yeah, we'll talk
I
about
think I
it.
have controversial points to talk about it, but
Yeah, let's go. We'll do.
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the memes have been hilarious.
No, no, no. Let's not get into the Buzz Lightyear thing. We have a
Yeah,
whole. That's another episode there.
yeah. So, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you comment on this? Comment anything you want us to do for
Absolutely.
the next episode, or let us know what you
And put
thought
your
about
thoughts
this
about
episode.
whole meta thing, right? What do
Yeah.
you think will is going to be the immediate realization of this? Will it going to be just gaming, just corporate? Is there any other aspect of our life that this meta thing will immediately kind of take over? The dating space is something that I think will kind of be largely affected by meta because there are so many companies that can easily tie up into this organization. So
Yep.
drop your comments, tell us what your thoughts are, and we would love to discuss because I think the meta thing that is a discussion that will kind of happen over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, please join us on the discussions, comments, DMs, Instagram, anything, and
Yep.
we'll love to kind of keep the discussion going.
Yep. All right then. So, like, comment, subscribe, folks, and see you in the next episode.
See you in the next one.
All right.
Cheers.
See ya. Bye. Take care.
Bye.